Hi, Tracy Thomas here, and today we are going to be talking about addiction to sugar. How many people feel that they have this crazy impulsive need to eat sugar? I know I certainly did. I mean, I grew up watching my dad eat an entire pint of ice cream almost every single night. But the thing is that we are biologically programmed to be addicted to sugar. Every cell in our body needs glucose, which is what all sugar breaks down to. Carbohydrates, sugar, all break down to the exact same simple sugar, which is glucose, and that is what fuels all of our cells. And because every single cell needs this, our body gives us this reward system of giving us this shot of dopamine, which is a feel-good chemical, every time we give our body the fuel it needs. So sugar becomes the vehicle to this hit of dopamine. And we're not actually addicted to sugar like we think we are. We're addicted to dopamine. And dopamine is delivered every time we have a bite of sugar. And so, unfortunately, because of today's abundance of sugar, and obviously we know it's in everything, and especially with our corn subsidy that we have in the United States, there is high fructose corn syrup injected into everything. And the food industry has figured out this magic combination called a bliss point, that most processed food has this magic combination of sugar, fat, and salt. And this has been tested like crazy to find the exact quantity and the exact combination that makes people crave it. And they know that dopamine gives us this craving for more. But unfortunately, when we go down the road of eating sugar for our hit of feel-good chemicals, what happens is that we gain weight. We have mood swings. We have ultimately insulin resistance. We lose impulse control. We have an inability to sustain focus. We have brain fog. And of course, it disrupts our ability to maintain memory. And so sugar addiction is what is being called the vehicle to Alzheimer's disease, which is now being known as type 3 diabetes. It hits the same place in your brain and disintegrates, and it's as insulin resistance, which is the early forms of diabetes. So when you have this crazy need to eat sugar, and we've all been there, I have certainly been there at certain points in my life, what it's doing is totally breaking down your body and making you sicker and sicker and sicker. But the good news is that there's a lot of ways that you can overcome this. And I'm going to be spending an entire episode on how to break a sugar addiction, because a lot of it has to do with your gut health. And the gut bugs are the ones that are actually driving us around and making us think that we crave things that we don't actually need or want, but instead we eat it. And because we kind of walk around like Frankenstein zombies thinking that we need these things because we have these cravings. But if you go about 5 days without sugar, without giving in, it's going to be an excruciating 5 days. But after those 5 days, you will not have sugar cravings in nearly the same capacity as you once did. So, step one is to just avoid it and do your best. You white knuckle it, you just power through it, and once you get to the other side, those sugar cravings are going to be diminished tremendously. The second thing is to increase your omega-3 fatty acids. And the increase of fat helps to diminish your sugar cravings. And the other two things are just to really reduce the situations under which we have these cravings. And so that's when we're stressed and when we are lack of sleep. Because when we are stressed, when we are tired, we want that thing, we want that fix that's going to make us feel better. So we tend to eat a lot more sugar and a lot more carbohydrates like starches and pizzas and pastas whenever we are stressed. So the more sleep we get, the more we get stress under control, and we have plenty of episodes all about how to maintain stress levels at a reasonable level. So in the meantime, just try to go those 5 days, increase your omega-3s, and you can find those in cod liver oil and nuts, seeds, sardines, fish, salmon, those sorts of things. And then get a good night's sleep and try to do whatever it is that you do to reduce your stress. Thanks and good luck.